Welcome back. This is the Weekend Review on SABC News. It is great to be in your company this afternoon. A family is pleading for help after the tragic death of their daughter in the United States. 27-year-old Thobile Tshabalala from Zondi in Soweto left the country just over a year ago to work as an au pair, chasing what many believe is a dream opportunity abroad. But that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Thobile reportedly suffered from a mental health crisis after being released by her au pair agency in April due to ill health. She collapsed at an airport while attempting to return home and later died in hospital. Now, her family is faced with the devastating task of repatriating her body, a process that will cost them something in the region of 130,000 rand. Her death has raised serious questions about the risks involved in au pair programs and the responsibilities of agencies once things go wrong. So let's talk about it a bit more. I'm joined by two guests that will talk about this situation. Pamela Chetti of Genesis Au Pair Agency, as well as Kholekile Mnisi, who is the spokesperson for the Tshabalala family. In fact, let me start with you, Kholekile, and thank you for your time this afternoon. Give us a sense of what happened in this case of Thobile and the work that Thobile had gone to pursue and how it all ended up with this situation where you are now faced with a situation where she passed away in the US and now you have to work on how you repatriate her remains.
Good afternoon to Susan. Good afternoon to your esteemed viewers. And thank you for this opportunity. Thobile just recently graduated from aviation school. And then went outside the country to another continent looking for opportunities for employment because we know the status of the economy. So an au pair opportunity presented itself, and it was a stepping stone for her to pursue, what she had initially studied for. Then she got matched with a family in Arizona, and things did not work out. She got matched with another one, and then that's when things started taking a turn for the worst. Mental health issues started kicking in, and when they were kicking in that regard, she had now to mismatch with the family and end her contract. So when ending a contract, she was now an illegal immigrant in the USA because the agency had not issued a flight ticket back home, and then she now needed to start raising funds and money to get back to South Africa. So she ended up squatting with friends. The first instance was in New Jersey. From New Jersey, she moved to Ohio, where she was going to raise the remainder of the flight ticket to get back home. That's when she passed out and she was admitted to the hospital. Hospital, within a space of about 24 to 30 hours, organs started failing, kidneys started failing, lungs and everything. And then the hospital informed us that we only had 4 hours to say our goodbyes.
Sure.
And then she didn't make it past the 4 hours. She died, and then it was exactly at 11 minutes past 12 South African time on Sunday the 8th. Right now, where we are in a situation where the GoFundMe and our public, donors in South Africa and abroad have been helping us raise the funds to repatriate to Thobile.
Yeah.
But we are faced with an issue where we are now not accessing the body because there's administrative delays overseas. But at the same time, we are also faced with an issue where we have a document, a medical report that says, Unthabi saying my sister signed it to not resuscitate. And we do not remember doing any of that because there was no verbal consent, there was nothing written down. So we've got the Ministry of Foreign Affairs overseas, the South African Ministry of Foreign Affairs, going deeper into the issue, just trying to understand what is happening.
Trying to help with that. Yeah, and I can only imagine how difficult it must make this period of mourning for you as a family. Excuse me. In a moment, I'll turn back to you, Kholekile, just to talk about what Thobile was telling you while she was in the United States. But let me talk to Pamela Chetti. Pamela, good afternoon. So we heard the story there of Thobile Tshabalala and the difficulties that the family now finds itself in following, an au pair situation that didn't work out so well for the young person who was trying to, pursue a career, get their career kick-started. Just in terms of what you heard, and I know we can talk about how the system generally works, but I would like you to compare what you just heard to what the typical experience is in the au pair space.
Well, good day to you and the viewers as well. It truly is sad to hear about the girl that passed on. I'm quite surprised actually that the agency didn't discuss or disclose what happens when an au pair is terminated from their contract. So hearing what Kholekile has said about what transpired with Thobile, when you go into a rematch, that's when you literally have a 2-week period where you need to find a new host family that you can pair up with. And in that space of time, the agency that she was signed up with was supposed to notify her and her family back home that during this transition period, you are never guaranteed that you will rematch with the family. So you have to prepare yourself to have funds to bring yourself back home because you are responsible for purchasing your own flight ticket to return home. On the au pair contract, you are provided with a flight when you successfully match with a family. So you are given a flight to go to America, to whichever state you are going to be in. However, the terms and conditions that are outlined, well, we outlined this in our contract. You must successfully complete your program in order for you to get a ticket to come back home. Should anything happen whilst you're overseas, your contract gets terminated, maybe you need to return home early for an emergency, whatever the case is, if you don't successfully complete, you are liable to purchase your own ticket to come back. And this is one of the reasons why during our screening process as well, before an au pair applies with us, we always ensure to ask the question, are you or your family financially secure to send you on this program? Because apart from us sending you as an au pair, yes, you are covered for a ticket, but the terms and conditions are that you must successfully complete this program. Did something happen? Do you have the necessary means to bring yourself back home?
So that's an interesting one then, Pamela. You're talking about a rematch, and I assume, excuse me, I assume that rematch suggests that the first match didn't work out. Is that how it works? That you send a person on the idea that they will match with a family that will be their host, and if they're successfully matched, then everything works out well. But if that doesn't work out, tell me how it works.
Okay, so when an au pair applies, this is one of the things that we have the biggest issues with. A lot of agencies don't actually explain the program in full detail. They actually sell you a dream. You know, the lights of New York City, or you're going to have such a fabulous life overseas. No one really explains to you the hard part about leaving home, going through homesickness. Mental health is very important. So you need to be physically and emotionally stable to leave your family, your home, everything that you're familiar with, to go abroad. Agencies, we don't pick a family for you. I've been an au pair myself in America. I've gone through the rematch process, so I totally understand all those emotions that go through you at that time and how scared you are. So I'm quite honest to let our au pairs know the good and the bad of the program. So when you apply, typically, you are going to interview with the host family prior to you matching. You need to ask questions to ensure that you fit in with this family, like personality-wise. Do you guys match up? Are you meeting the expectations of what the host family is requiring in terms of childcare for their family? Are you okay with the rules and regulations in their home? So there's lots of questions to ask
Pamela,
before you choose that family.
Thank you for your time this afternoon. Because of time, I have to leave it there. That's Pamela Chetti of the agency, Genesis Au Pair Agency. And we were, of course, joined earlier on by Kholekile Mnisi, who is the spokesperson for the family of the late Thobile Tshabalala, trying to repatriate her remains from the United States.